We started out, my wife and I, we had a very, very simple prayer. We said, God, we want to work together on a project. What would you like us to do? That was in the fall of '88. A couple months later, visiting my father in northern Minnesota around Christmas time, pick up the hometown newspaper, and here's a picture of Dr. Metcalf and Bill Sperber. And it's a story about them going to Guatemala, and they're going to talk to the women and the families and whatnot about solar ovens. They're going to show them how these things work, how you don't have to breathe the smoke, how it saves on trees, how it actually saves you time. Even though it takes longer, it saves you time because you don't have to be fussing over it, okay? And I read all about that, and it saves the trees, and by the time I finished the article, oop, that's the answer to that prayer. Showed it to my wife, Martha, who, by the way, sends her greetings. She did plan to be here. She's got other commitments home. Showed it to her. She read the story. She agreed. And so here we are. This was 1988. In 1989, April 15th, that's easy to remember, tax day, we built our first solar cooker. We had called Bill Sperber. He worked in Minneapolis. He came over and worked with us. We put one together, and we actually made a meal in it. It was great. It was delicious. How many of you have never had a solar cooked meal yet? Oh, no. Okay, we got to take care of this, Bertie. You got an assignment. I'm on. Okay.
This is called the Sport, and this is manufactured in Minnesota, where Martha and Mike Port live, and they took over the idea from Barbara of a solar box cooker and said, we can have something manufactured that that people can buy, and it can also is rugged and tough and can be used all over the world. It's also very lightweight. It comes with two black pots, which might be visible, but here they are. The pots do need to be black. This is an oven, and it has reached over 200 degrees inside. We do have things cooking. We have water on this side, and we have beans and chilies cooking on this side, cooking very well, and it's like a crock pot, so it's a slow cooker. You put your food in the morning, and you can be eating it in the afternoon.
That first time, and by the way, have them, if possible, have them open that lid up the first time too, because it's really, really exciting. You don't believe that this thing's going to work, and then you open that lid and the steam rolls out, and then you take a bite of it. It's just delicious. You're in for a treat. Anyway, so that was the start of this whole thing for Martha and I. And of course, part of the article was that this box was invented by one Miss Barbara Kerr and helped marketing and production with Kerr-Cole. So that was my introduction to the family. So that's the lineage we come out of. We decided that we would quit our jobs. No big deal. We wanted to know about solar cookers and how they worked. So my wife was an insurance underwriter and real tired of that, and I had started up a nonprofit that had grown to about serving 40,000 families a month with, so it was a self-fulfilling food program called Share. Anyway, we had also heard about something called Sonic Bloom. Some of you might have heard of that in the past. And so we wanted to see if Sonic Bloom really worked. What it was a foliar feeding, organic foliar feeding, combined with the sounds in the songbird range. And the idea was that sounds in that range incited the plants to open up their stomata and receive whatever was hanging out there, like the dew in the morning or the Sonic Bloom. Anyway, so some friends from church gave us access to their backyard. Actually, we used about 1/3 of an acre. And we wanted to try this out, and also we wanted to see how much we could grow in that small space, because we had heard that space was a big problem in all these developing countries. So imagine 6,000 plants, 1/3 of an acre. 4,000 were tomato plants, 1,000 green peppers. Now, we aren't gardeners, okay? Oh, that was the best summer of my life. It was so much fun. It was so much work. We'd be out there from dawn to dusk and more. And it was for Minnesota now. Anybody that's been in Minnesota, you know that we got a lot of clouds and rain and stuff like that. That's why I got 14,000 lakes. But that summer was kind of dry and hot. So many days we were able to get 2 meals a day out of that cardboard cooker. It was great. And by the way, the plants turned out well, and they didn't lock us up in the loony bin. And anyway, toward the end of the summer, Martha ended up on the radio for an interview, and by golly, wouldn't you know it, in the audience was a fellow from Haiti, a pastor from Haiti. So he was listening. He said to his host, "We got to have those people come to Haiti and tell us about the cooker." So next thing we knew, we were on the plane to Haiti with some of the kits. And so we get down there, and first thing we did was look around for cardboard. Oh, it's hard to find in Haiti. If you do, it's already been used. It's got a zillion uses, and it's really worn out. We did find some. I made a mistake. I should have had the Haitian go ask about it. As soon as they saw that I wasn't Haitian, the price went up about 1,000 times. Anyway, so here we are. He lined us up at 3 different places that first day. And if any of you have solar cooked in a box cooker, you know that it takes a while. This is a solar crock pot. This is not a solar microwave. This is a solar crock pot. We're going to hear about the solar microwave here in a few minutes. But anyway, so here we are on stop 1. And we're doing rice and I forget what else. But so rice and water, you know, it takes a lot of energy to heat that water up. Anyway, we didn't have a lot of time. Pastor said, "We got to go to the next stop." I said, "I don't think it's done yet." Opened up the lid, and sure enough, here's the rice, here's the water on top of it, and the universal language took over. Oh, did we hear the laughs? And oh, they thought that was the funniest thing they'd ever seen or heard about. Here's this guy coming from America. He's thinking he's going to cook rice in some cardboard box. So, said, "Pastor, can we have another 20, 25 minutes? Now, I had no idea, what was going to happen at that time, but anyway, so okay, we'll do it. Well, time went by, opened up the lid again, and sure enough, it was perfect. Thank you, Lord. And with the same amount of enthusiasm that they laughed, they clapped their hands, they were patting each other in the back, and we were hit. So that was my introduction to solar cooking outside of the U.S. Robert presented a nice challenge to you folks, I think, and Berta. And I would just like to add mine as an outsider. You got a good thing going here. And not only for your immediate, 50-mile radius or something. What's going on out of the center could really help a lot of people around the world who live in similar latitudes, altitudes, and conditions. I think that with proper, with a lot of hard work and proper funding and whatnot, this could become a training center, not just for around here, but for people from around the world, people from Afghanistan and some of the other stands, maybe even as far north as Mongolia. Or yeah, am I right?
Yeah, we actually have some centers in Nepal.
Yeah,
similar things.
right. So I would encourage you to really do, as Berta and some others have asked, get involved. If you've never solar cooked a meal, get a hold of one and borrow one. Get that first meal out of the way. Then go build one, buy one. I don't care if it's ours or whose it is. Just do it. The food dryers are wonderful out there. All the stuff they got. Just take part in it. And if there's a need, if you want any outsiders on an advisory board or something, I can't come here very often, but I'd be happy to throw my 2 cents worth in on Skype once in a while and be a part of an advisory board, and I'm sure others that are here would do the same. The last comment, I wish Barb was here to hear this, but there was a lady in El Jicaral, Nicaragua, that really summed it up for me. She said, "I love my solar oven. Now, I don't have to breathe all that smoke. Now, I have time to go down to the river and do my laundry. That's the way it is out there, folks. And thanks to Barbara and Sherry and some of the others, you know, they've been a real inspiration to Martha and I and the people that we work with, as well as Bob and Al and some of the others. So thank you very much.